This is Mudfossil University on YouTube. It's free and it's accessible to anyone, and we offer our videos for other people to put on their sites. However, we're being confused with all different people that have views that we absolutely do not support. So, if you do not hear my voice, Mudfossil University, it is not a Mudfossil University video, and we are the original discoverers of mud fossils, and we also have a Facebook group called Mudfossil Original Research Group. Now, this will be on Age of Disclosure and all kinds of different channels. We have nothing to do with them whatsoever. We do not support anything that they tout other than the mud fossils. And the only thing that I will certify is the things that are said by this voice about mud fossils. And the other research we do research in every field, physics and space and light and energy and all that stuff. It's all here, and there's literally hundreds and hundreds of videos here, and they are extremely scientific. There is no guesses and silliness here. So I'm just going to make sure that you understand, if you see our videos, my videos, and my voice is heard, and it's under someone else's channel, we are not affiliated to them, have absolutely no agreement to anything else that they might say, other than what comes from my lips. All right? Thanks. Okay, it's Roger once again from Mudfossil University. Today, as conflicted as I have ever been in my life, this is, I believe, incontrovertible evidence that the Earth is somehow biologically creating a life. If you can see this right here, I'm saying that's a sperm, and that's the head of the sperm, and these little indentations are the DNA. And the reason I'm saying that is because of this. You see what you see here? There they are. They're all coming this way. You see it? Coming down, coming down. A zillion of them. Well, that is the second shot of ejaculation, and ahead of it is the lubricant that heads ahead of it. And I'm saying that because down here was the first shot of ejaculate that ended up impregnating this cell right here. And I have done extensive research on this, and I can guarantee, well, I can't guarantee you, but I can tell you that if the things that we see in nature are cells, this is a cell. And the actual, you see here, here's all the sperm down here. These are the tails, and they all came down, and one of them made it in. See this white one right here? That white one right there was a strong one. You see it's coming down in here. I followed it in right exactly to the white one, and it came in right here, and it gets very dark over here as it enters the cell. You see right there? This is what's called fascia, I believe, these little stripes. And I'm going to show you over a course of time how this cell has developed. So we have the sperm attacking the cell. These are the dying sperm, which the blackness is killing off. The cell itself is moving towards the placental attachment, it appears. It's obviously moving in this direction. The blackness is killing off the sperm. There is no sperm attacking from this side because it came from this side. This is exactly, remember that shape of the DNA I said? Here it is right here. You see that? And you don't see it as DNA, but if you look closely, you can see it connects in here, and there are little tiny spots all the way across. Just exactly, and you can see. You see this? You see this? See those stripes? That is exactly what happens as the fibrils open up to attach to the DNA strand. And it's not just this one here. They're all over the place. You see it? Here's another over here. They're all up in here. You see this? That's how DNA happens. And you see over here? You see all this stuff? Those are the fascia fibrils. You see that? All of this, you see more DNA. I'm just showing you what I'm showing you, and I'm showing you with sort of a, like I said, I'm conflicted. This is the open. The cell is opening. When we started, well, when I started looking at this, or when we look back at it, let me put it this way: Val discovered it, and we started looking at it together. And when we went back on it, he went back and took all these pictures. We found out that there was a tremendous amount of activity, and I will show you that. Another fellow went ahead and did the video of it, showing the time lapse of this, the changes, where this shot out literally like a rocket ship to make attachment to this, which is the placental attachment. And this, you could see this red flash in here. I don't know, it's leaking. I believe that's the case. This is the exact architecture of what's considered a vein valve, and they clamp the vein blood off so they cannot leak back into where it was already used. Arterial connections have no restrictions, and that's what I see here. There are nerve and so forth entries, and I see no other possibility that this is going to connect to this. I can see the attachments growing, and that's all I can say. So I'm seeing a life being formed here in the desert. All right, several of us have been working on this together. Val discovered this location when we were looking at some other things in this area, and he has got a ton of information, done a lot of work on this. And then Steve Torrance put this together, this little video showing the time lapse of this particular place right here, which is, to my feeling, this is exactly where this cell is going to divide, if it's a cell. Now, you see this? This is serious. There's some serious action going on here, and that didn't last long. Now, this goes back 7 years, I believe. And this was the first pick. And now I'm going to let this video run, and I'm going to try to stop it on each different shot. So here's the first one that we can get back to. I don't know what happened before this, or I don't know any of this, but there's going to be all kinds of changes here. Do you see these things? Just watch how seriously this thing changes. All right, so let's go to the next pick. All right, there's the next pick. They're gone. What happened? Now we got this. It's like it's saying, okay, get ready, you're going to be splitting, and I don't know what it's doing. This all changed dramatically. All this stuff changed. Now let's go to the next pick. All right, whoops. Oh, I got it back to the beginning. Okay. Let's go a little further. There we go. Now, look at this. What the heck is that? Look what happened over here. I have no explanations for any of this. None. All I can do is show you, and you can look, and you can think, and you can explain yourself, because I can't explain. All right, here's the next one. I don't know what to say. Now we're getting this striation, all kinds of changes going on. And I think we got two more. Okay, there's that one. Now we're getting something. I don't know what to say. I have no clue what to say, other than that something's growing here. Something's happening here. These things weren't here last year. And this will be the last one. Well, I guess that was the last one. All right, and here's where it starts again. Look at this. That's totally changing. That's all I can say, and you see what I see, and that's we're seeing it together. We have to think together. We have to think as a world, because this is not some little monkey bone curiosity. Think of what you see in here. This is not some silly little thing. So I wish someone of some status, that had some resources, that had some authorities, could look into this and do something of an authoritative nature, because this is not something to be playing around with. There's something serious here. That's all I can say. And that's all I can say. I don't know there's nothing else I can say. Okay, this is Roger again from Mudfossil University, and I want to thank our friends at Harvard and Max Planck University for peer reviewing mud fossil claims of DNA from mud and mud fossils. Bones are not necessary. They both confirmed this in their research, and we are deeply appreciative. And I do apologize for my stance in the last 5 years, as being totally rejected by all of the institutions. I sent all of this information long ago to all of these institutions, and every time they made a discovery, I sent and said, why don't you look at the DNA in the mud, in the dirt, in the mud fossils? You're missing, you know, and I never got any response. So I became kind of bitter, actually, kind of infuriated, and I attacked kind of, I was kind of nasty, and I'm sure that'll be brought up, that I was kind of a nasty person about this, and I was, and that's the only reason that this was ever even looked at. So that's my feeling, but at any rate, that's over as far as I'm concerned. So New York Times is reporting, and you know, they're all reporting this now, and now they're very gleeful about this research, about finding, well, here it is, scientists recover ancient DNA from cave dirt. And Max Planck, and here it is right here in the Journal of Science, and the archaeologist, it says it's a bit like discovering you can extract gold dust from the air, said Adam Sippel, a population geneticist at Cold Spring Harbor Laboratory. An absolutely amazing and exciting paper, added David Reich, a genetics professor at Harvard, who focuses on ancient DNA. So they have found, you know, now they've realized, and within the last year they've started doing this research. So I appreciate that, and I'm very thankful that we're now considered a peer, and our work is fully validated and accredited by Harvard, for one, and Max Planck. Okay, this is the text that goes along with the video about the mud DNA. And here it is up here. You see, mud DNA means we can detect ancient humans even without fossils. Well, I have the fossils, and they are ancient human. Now, this woman, Vivian Sion of the Max Planck Institute, who I sent my research to, and they have confirmed this. She says that I think we show convincingly that these sequences are authentic. I think it's a woman, Vivian. They've never sent anything back, but I sent it to them for years now, as I've been following this research. So they finally did do the research. They just don't communicate with anybody. I didn't understand that. That's just the way, and not one of them did. I sent it to every university, literally, in the world. All of the best ones, Yale, Harvard, Max Planck, Johns Hopkins, every one of them that you would think would be interested in, and maybe they were, but they didn't communicate back, so I took offense and I attacked, literally. Now, and then it goes on, and Harvard is saying the same thing, and then they say, oh, back years ago, see, there are a lot of sites where these sewn tools are made clear, the same person says, and they go back and they say they found woolly mammoth DNA back in 2003. Well, that's a frozen piece of meat. That is not a mud fossil. I'm talking about mud and mud fossils, and they confirm mud and mud fossils are truly valid and authentic, and I appreciate Max Planck and this person, Sion, and I appreciate Harvard for finally stepping out and doing what should have been done long ago. And I do appreciate and I thank you, and I'm sorry for attacking everybody. That's going to stop now that it's been accepted. And there is no turning back from it, so let's start investigating. It's a whole new world. It's a lot of things you can look at now. And Mudfossil University is the place to go. That's all where the research is real now. Nobody else has any of this research. Nobody does. I'm sorry, that's just a fact. And if you can go to Mudfossil University and find issues with the things that you see, and of material issues, not mainstream, oh, I read it says this, I read it says that, oh, it's igneous this, and it's metamorphic that, and it's, don't give me that stuff. I work with chemistry and molecules and processes. I show them, I demonstrate them. Mudfossil University works with all the researchers around the world that don't care about special treatment and special this and all of those things. We're out for the understanding, and we can take it. We don't have to be right every single time. So talk to us. But thank you for doing the right thing, Max Planck University and Harvard University. You will be known as the universities that step forward when nobody else would. Thank you. Okay, I have 5 years worth of research on this, mudfossils.com, and it's deep research. It's not just guesses. It's not just thinking this or thinking that or making claims that have no validity. I do the DNA, well, I don't do them, I have people do them, but DNA tests. This is Helix Biolabs. They did 3 DNA tests, mud fossils, and it comes down, I'll just cut right down to the chase when we get down to the bottom here. See here, Homo sapien mitochondrial gene, and D-loop and a cytochrome B, and this is certified. This is not something that's a joke or a guess or anything. This is no baloney. Now I also have other things. I've had CAT scans done by Jesse Garant and Associates, who are the best of the best, and they are absolutely phenomenal. They did 7 CAT scans for me, and they did it so absolute 3D color, and you could see inside of things, the deepest rocks. Absolutely amazing. They do racing car engines, industrial equipment, can tell you the tolerances inside of your equipment, all kinds of things. Very, very good. And then Gil Headley went ahead and did the autopsy analysis. He's an autopsy instructor, owns a school. Here's Gil, and he owns a school. And see this fascia? This is right here. See, they're getting deep into fascia, because fascia is what I started researching when I found the mud fossils, because fascia is the preservative for mud fossils. Now he's teaching about now they're just starting to understand fascia. They never understood it before. They thought it was just fuzzy stuff. See Fuzz Tour? He's going around the world teaching them what fascia is. It's not just some silly little thing. So what I'm getting at is I do deep research. This is not silly stuff. I have DNA tests, I have CAT scans, I have anatomists, I have specialists in every field. I have spectral analysis, I have all the samples and all that business. So stay with Mudfossils University and on YouTube. Otherwise, you're just getting in with people that have no clue whatsoever what they're doing. They're not doing any research whatsoever. They're just looking at things and guessing, making a real mess of this stuff. And they're polluting the thing. And there's one guy that is just an absolute nightmare. So anyway, I'm going to show you my evidence. Alright, here's my claim that was a living creature at one time, and I can tell because of the chemistry of the blood and the colors of the blood and the texture of the materials and the different kaolin clays and ferrous oxides. I have done extremely deep research on this. I understand the chemistry, I understand how the body petrifies literally in mud fossils. This I did not understand, how this could possibly happen. However, now I finally have come to an understanding, and I will show you. And this was because the only reason this research is able to continue is because people are open-minded enough to send information about this to me, and it's coming in copious quantities, and I will put it out there and go through it chemically and analyze it, and then I'm perfectly willing to be confronted by anyone in the entire world. And this is what my request was. Yale refuses, Harvard refuses, my own professor at Johns Hopkins refused. Everyone refuses because they know they cannot stand up to this evidence. Okay, this is from my very good friend Tracy Al-Nassane, and this is about Ovid's metamorphosis, and this is about the story of how the earth was created and all this business, and it goes on about all of the early creatures. Now, Ovid writes this. Listen to this. Now, I've found the creatures are statuized, and they're in poses that are just like they're just standing there with looks on their face that are just amazing, and in positions that are unaccountable for. Now, listen to this, though. They all deserve the punishment they suffered, except one of Perseus's warriors. While he was fighting on his side, Aconteus saw that Gorgon's head and took the shape of hardened stone. Once they looked at the Gorgon's head, they turned into hardened stone. Astyges struck him with his long sword, thinking he was still alive, and the blade gave a high-pitched ringing noise. While Aeschylus stood there, amazed that the same power transformed him, and he remained there with a wondering look on his marble face. This is it, man. It's amazing. This is all written, and it's true. This is the thing. This just blows my mind. It would take a long time to tell the names of the middle ranks of men. 200 bodies survived the fight. 200 bodies were turned to stone at the sight of the Gorgonist head. And then it goes on and it says, now at last Phineus regrets the unjust fight, but what can he do? And it goes, but this is my point. This is, what can I say? You just saw what I saw. It's what I saw. And it looks to me like it's saying these are why these guys turned into stone. Now I have videos on all this stuff, and here is the Colossus over here. And by the way, it's a new human species we discovered. Tish Egerton found it out in Missouri. Well, I found one earlier, a long time ago, but she found one that was this one here, eroded, that gave me a lot more detail. Anyway, the Colossus is here, and I show about this strange weathering pattern there, and then we go into the Colossus. And the Colossus shows all of the I'm showing, this is videos I have on all of these. And you're going to have to go and look at this, but if you look at it carefully, you can see there's just virtually no way that this thing could have been made. And this is the exact same texture and thing that happens with skin as it erodes. And I show skin, and I show the erosion of it, and I show the spots and how blood transfers through it. Everything I do is, see this here, look. You see, this is how flesh turns. You see the spots? You see the spots on the guy's leg? I have all this stuff down. And I do the DNA and that, well, I send them off to labs, but I've done 3 DNA tests, and they've been sequenced. They're all mitochondrial DNA. I've done the 7 CAT scans on industrial CAT scanners, and they've been all verified by an autopsy guy that owns his own autopsy school. You see, I'm showing this. That's a fingertip, which is eroded, but I have all of these things, and 7 have been CAT scanned by equipment that scans racing car engines. Now, I want to bring up a point right now, because this is an issue that I've been having with some guy that he's a flat Earth guy. He has no clue what he's doing whatsoever. Absolutely no ability of anything that I can determine. And he's out making all these insane claims. It's a guy called Wise Up, and he's got mud fossils linked to his channel somehow. And he's a flat Earth guy. He doesn't think there was any dinosaurs, and he's extremely arrogant and very, very vile guy. So and I think the academics figured out a way to link mud fossils to him, so everybody would think it's crazy, because he is literally insane as far as I'm concerned. It's in my opinion of him. He's a vile, nasty, insane person, and he thinks the Earth's flat and there's no dinosaurs. Nothing goes above 120,000 feet. He says the terracotta soldiers are made out of wood. He's just lost. He thinks metal turns into stone. Very, very strange guy. So this is my problem. He's got me linked there somehow. You see, I get 855 views, 3,500 views. He's got 200-something thousand views, 280,000 on some of the, just everything he puts up. These flat Earth people think he's a hero. So, and I don't care, anybody can think anything they want, but don't mix me up with that guy whatsoever. My research is chemistry. I'm a real researcher, and so go to Mudfossil University, and if you want to go watch this stuff, that's fine. If you like fantasy. Anyway, that's it. Good night.